Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Ricky coming to you from the great land of Goshen here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. This video is basically about my 30 by 40 metal shop that I need to tear down in order to make room for the second phase of my 40 by 80 shop. I have to tear this one down so the guys have room to put up the second part, the second 40 by 40 shop. So this particular building, whenever my grandpa had it, he used it as a paint booth. It had a homemade paint booth in it, so he painted and did body work out of this shop. But the shop, it had its problems, and I'm going to rectify those problems by tearing it down, and this is going to be my new approach to my new shop. So let's just get into it here. Basically, it was just filled with a bunch of my stuff, so I had to move all that stuff out, and in doing so, I recruited 2 of my lawnmowers and a couple of little trailers. One trailer I used for burnable debris, like just, wood, boards, paneling, things like that. Things I could burn in my little burn pile. I put in one trailer. The other trailer I put trash in. If it couldn't be burnt or shouldn't be burnt, I'd put it in the trash bags. So basically, starting off, I ripped off all the paneling that they had on the inside, and then I took all the insulation down, and I'd roll it up and I'd put it in a trash bag. Everything worked good, doing the outside walls and stuff. But then when it came down to doing the ceiling, that's a different story. I had to tear down all this styrofoam panels and then pull down all the insulation, and made a huge mess when that happened. Pulling all that down wasn't that big a deal, wasn't that hard, it's just, a process. But then it rained, and all the water that was on the new slab, made its way into this old shop. And the shop has a drain in the center of it, but the drain got filled up with, trash and, probably insulation. And, there was like 2 inches of water in here, and got all that insulation wet, and those styrofoam panels were wet as well. But, it wasn't a big deal. You just have to roll with it. And those insulation panels, I thought I was going to be clever and buy some acetone to help, guess the word would be to like degrade or to eat, I guess, the styrofoam. And that did not work at all. I maybe did like a half a panel, and that wasn't working. It was nasty. It was, it didn't work. So what I wound up doing is I hired a guy that has a trailer, and he came by, and he picked up all my trash, all this trash right here, the insulation and those panels and stuff. He picked all that stuff up and then took it to the dump. He charged me a good arm and a leg for it, but, at least it was done and out of the way, and I could proceed on. So the next step would be to basically start taking the outside metal panels off. And that's what I did. I started taking the outside metal panels off, basically had my drill, and with a bit and my extension cord, I just went to work. Took all these panels off. I kept all the panels in a pile, like per wall, like the north wall, south wall, east wall, stuff like that, and just piled them up until I got to the 2x4s that were, it's what they used to, for the wall. Those were easily knocked out. They would, they were just kind of like laid in there so they could, attach the paneling on the inside as well as the metal panels on the outside. And this is another shot of all that. It went pretty quick, in reality. Tearing it apart, I didn't have any problems that I ran into that I can recall. everything went well. Then when it came down to the roof, that was the most difficult part, because the roof actually was also held together with some kind of sealer between each panel. Whenever it overlapped, they'd put a bead of sealer down, I guess, to help out with water and stuff. A really great idea. Definitely helped with the rigidity of it, because I mean, I couldn't get those panels apart without, using some hand tools and stuff to get them separated. But either way, I was able to manipulate that roof and get each one of the panels off as I went, and which was kind of a chore itself, because it was windy that day, and this actually took several weekends to do, and to tear this thing down. But once I got the roof off, I mean, you could just see the metal frame itself, and I was kind of taken back, because it's in really great shape. The thing is still a good building, and I mean, the color of the outside of the last of the old paneling, it was kind of like a light green, yellow color, but either way, the metal framing for the shop itself, still good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to try to put it up again later, hopefully, but, and it's all bolt together. This whole building was bolt together. I unbolted, different parts of the frame, the outside parts, around the garage. All that was bolted together, basically came apart just with my hand tools, and once I got down to like just what I call purlins, which, like this next shot, it'll show just basically the skeleton of the building itself, the main three pieces that hold it together. That was the most difficult part to take down, because I used my tractor with my front end loader. Even with it made it difficult, because I took them down in one piece. As you can see, there's three pieces. There's your middle section, and then your front and your back section. And basically, I started off with the outside section, because it was lighter. The outside section, those beams are made of rolled steel, and then they took that rolled steel and then they welded them together to form a beam. Those were on the outside, but the actual beams in the middle are true I-beams, solid steel I-beams, and those are heavy as all get out, but either way, using the tractor, I put a ratchet strap around the section I was going to take down, and I used the tractor itself to slowly lower the structure. And it was touch and go there a few times, but once I got kind of the groove and knew what I was doing, it came down with no problem at all. I still have this building. I've got it all stored away. I think I could put it back together. I took pictures of different angles and things to help me if I decide to reconstruct and put it back together. I think I could do it. I would probably have new metal put on the outside, because I didn't like the color. Not that it can be painted, but it had holes in different areas and stuff, and the roof, I mean, trees had fallen on it and just different things, But all in all, it went well, and I did this by myself as well. Didn't have any assistance in any way, but I got it all cleared off. Looks good. Now about this building, I didn't want to tear it down myself, because it looked like a chore, and it was a chore, and it took time, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was something I dreaded doing. I tried to sell it. I had it listed, tried to sell it, no buyers. I tried to trade it for dozer work, for a guy come out and give me an estimate, and I tried to trade him the building. I said, hey man, I'll trade you this building. And he said, yeah, well, I'm not really needing that, but if it was tore apart and, you had instructions on how to put it together, I might be interested. But even then, I'm not interested. And so then I tried to give it away. That person didn't want it. It was either too big or too small, whatever. The local constructors, construction companies that do metal buildings, I tried to sell it to him, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to charge me to take it down and take it, and no, I'm not going to pay you to take that down and take it. I'll just take it down myself, and I'll put it someplace for a later, for a rainy day. But anyway, the shop tear down took time, wasn't difficult, and it all worked out. And looking at the last photo, there's my new approach. Once I build my driveway up to it, and of course on the back side of that approach is going to be the new shop building, phase 2 of the 40 by 80 shop. Will be going on shortly. So either way, I think that's enough for this one. As always, God bless you, your family, and your friends. Thank you.